Can you see me, hear me? Are you there? Amazing. Hi, and Jean's still trying to connect to the audio. Thanks for joining me today, Jean. Hello. How are you? It's nice to see you, Jean. It's been a little while. Amazing. We've got a few more people jumping on, and Paul, who is our business partner, is also going to be joining us very, very shortly. So thank you guys so much for jumping on. Today, we are really going to have a look at what content repurposing is all about. Why do we want to repurpose our content? How is content repurposing valuable from a perspective of really being able to be visible on our social media channels? You know, in today's world, as much as there's so much push around, you know, we need to consistently create content and we need to be, you know, consistently visible, and there's so much push around what marketing should look like that sometimes people go over, well, they forget the basics, right? And so the basics is really around how can we be consistent so that when people look at our social media channels, our business social media channels, we are appearing to, at the minimum, be active so that we are credible. Really, that's really what it comes down to. So whilst it is really, really important to, you know, as much as possible, be, you know, exciting and be visible and have videos and reels and stories and, you know, posts, what ends up happening is all of those ideas and all of those needs end up bringing us into overwhelm. And so we end up being very sporadic in the way that we share our content. And really the whole purpose of today and why Flintt was developed and created is to, at a bare minimum, support business owners to be visible on their channels and be consistent at a bare minimum. So that's what we're going to really discuss and look at today. Hello, Wasim. Thank you for jumping on. All right, I'm just going to introduce you guys quickly. So Paul Teixeira is my business partner. Paul is our COO of Flintt. And Pilar, who is currently a pink little box, Pilar is our marketing and support team. So Pilar is here. Hi, Pilar. To support you guys, you know, and support us in really being able to build Flintt up to being able to really make an impact for many business owners globally. So I'm going to share my slides and we're going to have a bit of a chat around, you know, what is content repurposing, how you can increase your visibility. And then we're actually going to do a live demo. So each of you is going to have an opportunity to have a go at playing around with Flintt and making sure that it is working. So essentially, the whole purpose of this tool was to help people increase their visibility, build reputation, so really by creating more content with less effort, right? And what we found, what's really interesting, is it currently takes up to 6 hours to create just one piece of copy, right? That's how long it can take. And so what ends up happening is that once we create one piece of copy, so let's just say you've sat down to write a blog or an article, you have to think about what you're going to write, you know, make yourself finally sit down, you're going to write that blog or that article, then you're going to put it onto your website as a blog, you might put it onto your LinkedIn as an article, and that is as far as that content goes. And so when you're spending 6 hours to create this, what we're finding is that most people just don't post, because 47% of business owners either do their own marketing or they might have one person that looks after the marketing for their whole business. And it just ended up going to the too hard basket. And so today we're going to think about why most people actually waste opportunity to repurpose their content. We're going to look at how you can streamline your content creation for maximum output with minimum effort. We're going to look at what Flintt is and how it actually empowers you to create that content with less effort. And then we're going to do a live demo of Flintt. So each of you is going to have an opportunity to jump on in and have a play around and have an understanding of how the platform works. Does that sound good to everybody? Yes, yes. Awesome. Amazing. All right. And then if you do have any And if we do have any questions, you can either unmute yourself and ask them, or you can pop them in the chat. We've got myself and Paul and Pilar all here to support you guys. So we're just going to go at a reasonable pace and really give you guys an opportunity to trial out the product. And if nothing else, to walk away from today understanding that it is possible to look at your content creation strategy differently and being able to reuse the content that you spend so much time creating in the first place. So really what we're finding is, if you are in business, no matter what sort of business you are in, you are sitting on a mountain of content already. If you have ever written a blog, if you have a lead magnet on your website, if you've got any IP frameworks for your business models, you've ever written a book, you've ever done a video, you've ever written a keynote, if you've ever sat down and even written an FAQ section for your website, so frequently asked questions, then you are sitting on a mountain of content, which right now you are wasting. Mostly because we find that most business owners don't understand that there is a different way, because we've been taught a different way. What we've been shown is that there's lots of tools that will help you to write your copy. There's some really great AI tools out there that can help you write the content. If you can't pull it out of your brains, it can help you write it. There's great tools out there that help you to schedule that content. There's tools that help you create images for that content, but there's not a tool that will do that strategy for you and then roll it out to make life easier, which is really the whole idea of Flintt. And if I'm really honest, the reason I came up with the idea for Flintt in the first place is because we were doing this in our business, right? So I had a whole strategy, which we're going to go through in a moment, but I had a whole strategy around, I would record a video. So I would write a description for a video. I would record that video, and then I would pass on that video to my team, and we would transcribe that video. We'd make it a blog. We had pre-created templates, and then they dissected it and turned it into like text for copy for social media, and they turn it into video and images for content for social media. Then they would go to a scheduling tool and they would schedule it. And then I used to share this as a strategy with all of my clients. I'd literally give people like a checklist and a strategy and be like, this is how you do it. Like, guys, it's really, it takes time, but it's not rocket science. And then I would sort of check back in and I'd be like, why aren't people sharing their information? Why aren't they sharing that content? And we found is it was too hard. Present day, in order to do what Flintt does, you need at least 3 platforms to cobble this stuff together. You need a platform to write your content in. Then you need a platform to design your images that align with that content. Then you need a platform to schedule that information. You need an email marketing platform that's going to send it out to your database. And, when you sit down and spend time on each one of those platforms, it just goes into too hard basket. And so Flintt essentially combines that together to make it easier and faster for you to be visible at a base level. At a minimum, have weekly posts going onto your socials, so that if anybody goes from your, Googling you to your social media, there is information there that's going to appear to be consistent, regular, updated, and will make you credible, build your reputation, and ultimately increase your revenue. So I want to bring your attention to some statistics, right? So right now we've got our total population is almost 8 billion, which is huge. We've got lots of people using mobile phones. We've got 5.3 billion people, which is 61.3% of the population are online. And what's really interesting is that 4.7 billion people, so 59% of the total population, that's including the elderly and children. So 59% of the population are currently active social media users, and that is growing, right? So it's no longer okay for us not to be visible on social media channels. But, as a statistic, you're like, yeah, so what? Maybe my users aren't on social media, and how do we decide what social media we want to use? And so I've looked at some other statistics, and this is literally from July this year, right? And so these are our top top 8 social media platforms, right? And And this is really percentage of active users of each social media platform age 16 to 64. So these are our people who can pay us money for the things that we do. Really, that is the population of human beings that are our potential prospects, right? And if we have a look a bit more closely, what we find is the top 3 social media platforms are still Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And what's interesting is what they're also being used for. So if we have a look at these stats here, people follow or research brands and products on Facebook and on Instagram, right? If you don't have information on your brand or your product on your social media, then people can't find you. They're also looking for this on LinkedIn. People are also having a look for, up-to-date current affairs, etc. So it's really important for us to be able to be visible on our digital social channel, but it doesn't have to be difficult, right? We don't have to overcook it, because sometimes we overthink things and then it just becomes too hard, right? And so, as I mentioned earlier, I really believe that technology has the power to enable the individual to make a global impact. The world has shifted so much that we literally have the opportunity to communicate globally from, from the comfort of my own little home office, right? And so it is no longer okay to not be visible, but also it's no longer okay for it to be so difficult, right? And so this is the whole purpose and power behind Flintt. Flintt has been in my mind for the last 3 years. It took me a year to find Paul to even start on this journey. And we took a good, year and a half building our building blocks, our basics. And we've now launched our MVP, and we're really in the, version 1, product level version 1. But the part of Flintt that I think people sometimes miss is the strategic direction behind it. It's not about, I can schedule posts, because you can do that right now. It's not about I can send out bulk emails. You can do that right now. It's really about the strategy behind how Flintt takes your information and recreates that information to make it really easy for you to share your content. So in general, if anybody does not know what content repurposing is, it's really around content recycling, but it's reusing what you've got and presenting it in a new format. And the part that's really important is, as we create new content, you can plan, pre-plan for a variety of ways to share this information by repurposing it across multiple platforms. That's the whole idea of this. So you're not wasting a blog and you're going, I've spent all this time and now I've got to do this once a month, and what? I mean, it's there, it's great, it's really important, but let's not waste it. And so, as I mentioned, the original traditional content repurposing model for the way that we think, and you can totally implement this into your business models today, is to look at what's called a content pyramid, where we start with a video, and then that video can be repurposed across all these multiple stages, right? That's the traditional content repurposing model. And we took this model and essentially flipped it a little bit around on its head in order to strategically support our users to repurpose content utilizing Flintt. And so the way that this looks in real life, once you've repurposed all of it in the traditional manner, is you've got your blogs, you've got your social posts, your LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, you've got your videos, all of this information is going out, right? What Flintt has been designed to do is slightly different. So it's shifted this model slightly on its head. And what Flintt has done is we've created a centralized dashboard, which will enable you, ignite you to create, and then it will automatically repurpose, automate, and track your marketing content across both social media platforms and across email, right? And the way that it does that is the way that content repurposing works with Flintt is that you just need to write the content, right? So you fill out a content form, and I will show you what that looks like. And then Flintt basically will do the majority of the work for you. So once you've written this content, and whether you've written this content previously, so you've already got a blog or articles, a lot of companies already have like they're already sitting on that mountain of content, or you're sort of just starting out and you're ready to start writing content, you just do this part here, and you can use AI-driven tools that help you with your copywriting. And then what happens is Flintt will automatically take this information here and it will write a newsletter for you. So it'll basically take this content form and it'll schedule an email to go out to your whole database, which basically has this information in it, right? That's quite simple, quite standard. Plus, it gives you an opportunity to add another couple of emails if you would like to communicate with your audience so that you're already there, you can have a go. Then what it'll do is it will take this information here and it will automatically create multiple different types of posts. So it'll create an image and text based on the title and introduction of your copy. It will create an image and post, so the text, based on the general overview or the list of information that is inside of your content form. It will then take one of your subheadings, because the way that we write the content, there's a strategy behind it. If you're looking at any sort of blog, a blog for it to be viable needs to have headings, like a heading, it needs to have an introductory paragraph, it needs to have subheadings, it needs to have paragraphs, it needs to have a conclusion. That is the correct way, or the best in market way to write your content. So it'll then take one of your content pieces and it'll turn it into an image and text for that. It will also give you an opportunity to use the abundance of images it's created for you to create 2 more posts. So you can either reuse what Flintt's done, or you can add to it by adding your own event you might have coming up, or you might have a product launch coming up. So you can utilize it as a scheduling tool. And then what happens is it actually automatically schedules it into Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram, which we know are the top 3 platforms currently used. And so essentially, when Flintt does this for you, it takes away a minimum of 2 hours of work. You don't have to do that. It's done for you. Then what Flintt will also do is it will actually send you the information you've put into this content form back in an email. And so then you can take that copy and go, cool, you know what? I'm going to turn it into a blog or an article if you haven't got it as a blog or an article already. You can use it as a podcast. You can read the stuff that you've written and turn it into a podcast. And you can ultimately use it as a script for a video that you might create and then put it back onto your socials. And our vision is for this to also be part of what Flintt does, so that as we grow, all you need to do is this part here. And we might even integrate an AI in here so that you don't even need to do that. But essentially, you know your stuff and we do everything else for you so that you are visible, you are consistent, and you are really, that's what I'm looking for, that you are credible. That's really, really building that reputation and making sure that you're credible. Because if we're looking at, statistics across marketing, so I teach marketing, comms and public relations at RMIT, and we look a lot at, what are the latest trends within marketing? What younger people looking for when they're looking for a company online? How will they be impacted if, let's just say, you're looking for a company online and they don't have social media that is regularly looked at? If somebody is over the age of 45, statistics show that it will probably only impact them 30%. If you're looking for somebody who's under the age of 45, or especially in that millennial and younger demographic, it's going to impact their view of the company by up to 60%. So we want to make sure that you are visible. We also know that marketing technology growth, it's a $344 billion industry, the MarTech, marketing technology, because all people are trying to do is make it easier for people like yourselves to do what you do, because what you do is not marketing for most of you. What you do is something completely amazing that is not sitting there trying to, spend 6 hours to create one piece of content and it goes on your blog. And so that's why the industry is growing, which has been a really great eye-opener for us. And so I'm going to give you a quick video about how Flintt works, and then we're going to deep dive, and you guys are all going to have a go at using Flintt yourselves.
Is it just me? The sound is not working.
What was that?
Oh, I couldn't get the sound at the beginning. Sorry.
It's okay. Can you hear it? That gives you just a bit of an insight into how Flintt can work. So what we're going to do is we are all going to have a go at doing this. So I'm going to pop into the chat. I'm going to get you guys to just head over to flintt.com.au. I'm going to pop the link to that in the chat so that you can have a look at the Flintt website, and then we'll get you to head over to the member login section. So that's the website there. So I'll get you guys to click on that. That is going to bring you to our homepage, which is over here, and click on either member login or try it now, and it's going to bring you into our app.flintt.com.au. If I log out, it's going to bring you to this page here. And what I'd like you guys to do is I'd like you to click on sign up with Flintt and just put in your details, which is going to give you the access for free to the back end so you can have a go at playing around with Flintt. Now, whilst you do that, I'm just going to prepare some copy so that I can share that with you so you guys can quite easily test and trial how Flintt works. All right. Paul, would you be able to reset our support at Flintt email so I can show how this works from a...
Yep, sure can.
Amazing. So for you guys, you fill this out, what you'll get is an email saying, can you please confirm your email? Go through that process and I will catch up with you guys in just a moment.
Okay, that should be done now.
Perfect, thank you. Great. So once you have verified your email, you guys should be able to see this page here. Just give me a yes in the chat once you are there. Great, great, Wasim, great, Catalina. And Wasim, I think you've done this before. Were you able to log back in, or did I imagine that we've done this before?
No, I think you managed it. I did
I managed it.
register for the last one, but I missed it because I was
Ah,
when the invitation came in, I registered.
great.
It's all new to me. Thank you.
Thank you. It's good to have you here. Great. Tony, Wasim, Catalina, Jean, how are you going now? Oh, yep.
And will there be a replay for this? Because I actually want to share this with my content creator. But
Yeah.
she's on holidays at the moment, so I couldn't get her to come today because she's over in Europe. So
Oh, lucky for her.
yeah,
There's definitely a replay. I am recording this.
yeah, because I think I've been interested in this software for a while, and I do want to go through with her and let her see it and get her expertise before we move forward. Because
100%.
but she's
She's
the one.
the one who's going to be doing it.
Yeah, not me. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. Cool. So, are we ready to move forward? Is everybody seeing this screen? Yes. I almost forgot. Deb, yep. Great. All right. Fabulous. All right. So now what I'd like you guys to do is I'd like you to go to this first step here. I'd like you to click on configure branding. And I'm going to just share some things in the chat with you to make life easier so you don't have to try and cobble together all of your information. So I'm just going to pop into the chat here. There is a logo. It's called Your PNG. So if you guys can download that to your computers and then just choose that as your logo for your logo section in the branding. So it should look something like this. So you got this thing that just says your logo, and this is just as a test for everybody.
And would we be able to have different email addresses for this? Like, for example, in our organization, we obviously have customer support. We've got me, Michael, Matt, we've got Irene, and all of us send emails to create different content for our own expertise. So we want to send that out. Sometimes an email might be coming from Michael, sometimes it might be coming from me. Is that a possibility in Flintt, or is it just
At the moment, Flintt is set up for a single user dashboard, and our email marketing services currently actually say that they come from Flintt. We are looking to set up so you can validate your own emails, but because our main purpose here is for content repurposing tools, we don't want to try and rival CRMs. So what can be done is you can API into your CRM. And so that same email that is being sent by Flintt can be sent to your CRM, and you might be able to automate that to go out so that it is repurposing and APIing straight in.
Okay, have you spoken to Kill Holiday to see if you can integrate with CRM Hub?
Potentially, I've got a meeting with him
That's
tomorrow.
what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of people in CC are actually like, we're migrating, we're in the process of migrating from CRM to CRM Hub. And I know Kill has a massive vision. And I think something like this would be really powerful because, I mean, end of the day for us, it might be we just repurpose the content and we copy and paste it into our own email marketing program.
Yeah, that's kind of, but yeah, look, as we grow, these are all definitely things that we've been considering, and we've literally just had a tech meeting, and that was one of the conversations we had, exactly that same conversation there. So it's always good to bring all those things on board. All right, so has everybody got their logo looking like that?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, great. So now what we're going to do is head to this thing that says primary background color. I'd like you to click. So I'd like you to be able to have that logo visible. Click on that, go to the pipette and just head to the brown bit of the Y. Just select that. And then for your secondary background color, head to the pipette and just head over to this color here. And then for your primary font color, let's use this gray part on this logo here, or gray, beige. And then let's make our last part just black, which you can find on the pipette.
What a much easier way to copy your colors.
There's easy ways to do all the things, Deb. I just know all of our workarounds. It just makes
No,
life so
workarounds are good, very good. We like workarounds.
yes.
Where's
So
the pipette?
if you click on the color thing, it's there.
Right there.
Ah, okay, got you.
Yeah, yeah. And then you click on that and you can drag it around anywhere on your screen. We'll just make it for ease of, and then can we head over to this section here before we scroll down? So once you've got your color set up, and let's just choose the simple template so that we can see the simplest way of creating this information. And then once we've done that, so we've got our colors, we've just leave the headings and fonts as they are. We've got our simple template chosen here, and then we've got our business information. Just to make it easier, can we just put in test@test.com.au? You can put your own address in if you know your own social media handles, etc. Do that. If you don't go looking for them, just put @test, and that will be all that you'll need to do. I'm just going to copy these because I've already got them here. So if you know your stuff off the top of your head, pop that in. If you don't, just put in test@test.com.au and put your social media handle as test. And then here in our brand email signature, just write something like test email signature. Thanks. And then if you want, you can put in your whatever you might want to put in here. So you might want to put in your email and what that is. And you might want to put in follow us at. Something like that. And then choose some hashtags or just go #test. Don't mind what that looks like, but I just want us to fill this part out as quickly as possible so we can see how the rest of it repurposes. So once you've done that, make sure that you've got all of those sections filled out with something. You've got your simple template chosen. And once you're done, just click update branding and let me know, just pop a yes in the chat that you've updated the branding so I know we're ready to move on. Yep. Right. So once we click update branding, it's going to bring you back to this 1, 2, 3, 4 step-by-step process. And once you are here, what I'd like you to do is just click skip steps and create your campaign so that you can all have a go, because you know you'll be able to connect your social media account, set up your payments, add in your contacts, etc. But today I'm just going to show you the power of Flintt can actually do and how you can play around with it for your future content creation purposes. So skip steps and create your campaign. I'm not going to move from this screen until everybody has said yes, they've clicked that button, because otherwise people get lost. Yes, yes.
Yes, go for it.
Yes. Okay, fabulous. So now we are here. Now this says start a new campaign. Click on that and click brand engagement campaign. Currently, this is our only option. These options will be growing, which is why there's only one box there. But what this will then do is it will bring you to this form here. Now, this is what we call a content form. This is where we put in our information, right? So if you have blogs or articles already written, you can put them, you can copy and paste them. If you don't, it is set up in order to strategically empower you to write content that converts. And the top 2 types of copy that converts are lists. So, you know, 5 ways to something, or how to documents, how to insert whatever it is that you do here. So that's what this content form has been set up to help you with. So i.e. how does global warming start, deforestation, combustion engines, etc. Or your list is, create a website in 5 easy steps. Here's your 5 steps. So what we're going to do is, we're going to do some copy and pasting. I'm going to copy stuff into the chat. You're going to copy it from the chat and paste it into this campaign here, because trying to get you guys to write something right now will, yes?
I've got a little wizard that keeps coming up for me.
Yes, just close that. That's our step-by-step how-to on there. It might keep coming up. We haven't updated that to only come up once, have we? Or
No, I
twice?
think if you on some of the pages there it has, but yeah, if you just click
Some
on
it
the
hasn't.
cross, it should.
Still ironing out our user
No, it's
experience, guys.
really cool. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's really cool because you're not having those come up. I was just letting you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do. All right, so we're going to play around with this content here. So what I'd like you to do is I've just popped a title in the chat. I'd like you to copy and paste that into this section here. So create more content with less effort to increase visibility. It's in alignment with what we are talking about today. So then we've got our introductory paragraph, which is, again, I'm going to copy and paste in here. So that's in the chat and also in here in the introduction. And then we've got our list items, which is basically our subheadings. So our subheading 1 is don't waste the opportunity to repurpose your content. It's going in the chat there and into the form here. Then we've got our description of that. What does that actually mean? We're going to copy that, paste that in the chat here, and then paste it into the description. That's list item number 2. Now, at a minimum, it's going to ask you to do this at least 3 dot points. And the reason we do that is, 1, we want to create content that's actually going to be of value to people. And 2, so that you get a really good opportunity to repurpose your information so that you get a good amount of posts out of this. So this item 2 is content creation for max output with minimum effort, and the information there. Yeah. And the 3rd dot point is Flintt empowers more content with less effort. And that is the content that goes in there. And finally, we've got a conclusion.
So each description has been written by you and then put in.
Yeah. Currently, yes. So there's 2 ways that you can use this. If you already have a blog or an article, you can just do the same thing. You can copy and paste this in. If you don't, it has been set up so that you can sit down with Flintt and at the start of your month, sit down and follow this process, but actually write the information in there. So have a think about what are some of the FAQs that your customers are asking, what is some valuable content that you can share, what have you got coming up, maybe you've got a promotion coming up that you want to talk about or a webinar coming up, and you can basically write this. And if you want to add more dot points, you can add a 4th item, you can add up to 10 different items into this campaign. And really, it's designed to empower us to sit down and make it as easy as possible for people to write their own content. And if you don't want to think about it, you can go to use something like Jasper or Writer as an AI technology, and it will do this for you, and you can just copy and paste that in. if you don't want to use your own information that's in your own mind, you can utilize AI tech that's going to help do this for you. So once we've filled out all of these dot points, we want to scroll down.
Sorry, Anna,
Yep.
can you say that again? What do you mean if you don't have information in your own mind, you can use AI to create it for you? I missed that.
Good question. So if we go into, so there's AI tech, which we're actually looking to integrate into Flintt potentially. So writer.me
Yeah.
is a free tool, right, which helps you to write your own content, helps with content creation. So if you go start writing, right, you can select create a free account. And I'll continue with Google. Let me just see if this will log me in. Great. So here you can decide to write this for yourself. So you might want to go blog outline or idea. And so we've got an AI writing assistant. This is like, I don't know, content repurposing.
Sorry, guys, I've got to go, but I'll watch the rest and Anna will be in touch.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great. You're welcome. So this is writing this for you, right? So you can go in here and go, cool, I'm just going to use this stuff. So I'm going to call this a guide to repurposing content without losing your audience. You copy and paste that into your content form here. And then you can go back in here and you can literally go, all right, there's an intro here around what content, so what is content repurposing? You can copy that, or you can post that in here as your blog section. And you can copy and paste these keywords potentially in, and it will then write this information for you.
Oh, wow.
But you can use a tool that will write this content for you. And we're looking to integrate this into Flintt. So now you've got your information.
Okay.
So you can utilize, an AI tech to write this for you, copy and paste it into Flintt, and then repurpose. Yeah. All right. Has everybody put in all of their content into the content form? Everyone's copied and pasted. Yeah. All right. So let's scroll down to the very bottom. We don't have our social media integrated yet. Let's just click on all contacts. There's no contacts in there yet, but it just requires us to do that. And we currently have 2 image source options. We use Unsplash as a stock image photography, or you can upload your own media, which we can show you how to do at a later stage. So basically leave Unsplash there. You've got all your contacts and click the start campaign button. So click that button and Flintt's going to do this thing. So what it's basically doing is it's propagating, what I call propagating, like we propagate plants, your campaign. So what it's currently doing is, remember how I mentioned that Flintt will do, let me just show you. I want this picture here.
It's just told me selected tags field is required.
Did you select all contacts?
Okay.
So at the very bottom of your campaign, it's got like the contacts thing and it says all contacts. You just have to click on that and then it'll be able to propagate.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Once you add in contacts at the start, when you go through, when you got more time, you'll find that all contacts section will have different tags that you've put in, that you've assigned to your different contacts that you've added into the list. So, if you're going for, say, directors or founders, they're your niche, and you put them as a tag. If you've written out that content directly for them, you can actually select those contacts only, and then produce the campaign.
Cool. So essentially what's happening is we've now completed this bit and now Flintt is working on this part for us. All right. So if we go and this takes a couple of minutes to propagate. basically it will stop flashing once it is ready.
Hi, Anna.
Yep.
Whilst that's repurposing,
Mhm.
I noticed that we had to sort of copy and paste in the sort of sections that you have created for that
Mhm.
list. What if we just had a blog? Can we just copy it in as
Yeah.
one whole item? Or?
No, you still need to put it into the individual sections because it uses those sections to repurpose. So it will actually pull the information out of that. In the future, we might look at how it will do that for you. So you can, click to here's my blog and Flintt will go, I'm just going to pull those things in for you. And you can check at how, how it's done that effectively or not. But at the moment, no, you still have to enter that in yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's saying campaign with the same title exists on that start date. So I might have clicked it twice or something because it wasn't sure. So,
Hmm.
whoops, something went wrong. Campaign with the same title exists. That starts on the same date.
Has anyone else had that that come up? No. Okay.
No.
I'll have a look on this end.
All right. I assume yours should be ready. Tony, yours is ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine is still flashing for some reason. So is Catalina's and Jean's. Anyway, so essentially what will happen now is it will I want to be able to show you exactly what it's done. Oh, yeah, great. All right, so I'm going to share my screen and we're going to go back to Flintt. So what's happened now is it's now, Gerald's a bit late. All right, so now what it's done is it stopped flashing. And if you click on this, you'll see this section here come up. So what it has done for us is, first of all, it's created an email. The email is pretty simple. It's basically taken the information that we've just written. It's put it into an email format. It has scheduled it to go out on the 26th of this month at 10 a.m. using the email subject as your title here. And it's scheduled to go to the people that you've chosen for it to go to. If you want to update any of this, you can basically just click in here and you can edit it as you like. If you want to add a link or a call to action in here, you can. What you'll see is it's actually put in the information that you had in your email signature and all the stuff that you've just put into the content form. So basically, this is now allowing you to be able to share this content as an email to your database quite simply, right? We're happy with that. We click update email. If you like it, you click release on schedule and it's now ready to go. It will be scheduled to go on this date. So that's one part of what it's done. If you want to add other emails, you can just add more emails. If for some reason somebody does not have an email marketing software that they're using, you can do another email blast here. And then what it's done is it's created these social media posts for us. So what it's done is it's scheduled a post to go onto Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. It's taken the title, so we call this a title post. It's taken the title, your introductory paragraph, and your signature along with all of your hashtags, and put that this is now the text that's going to go out onto your social, so you don't need to think about what to write. And it's created an image, and it's also created a whole bunch of other images. Right, so it's created a whole bunch of images that's now using the title. It's got your social media handles on there. It's got your website on there. It's got your logo on there. It's aligned with your colors. It's popped in a picture in the background that is using a keyword from your content. And so it's quite a nice, simple, tasteful image. that if you're happy with it, it aligns with the actual information that is in here. It's already scheduled, ready to go. So if we like it, we basically click the same thing. We go update social media post and we go click here to release on schedule. And so that's scheduled for this 16th of this month. Then it's also created another post here. We call this a list post. So what it's done is, a week later, it's scheduled for Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. It's taken your title as well as your 3 top dot points, as well as your conclusion with your links here and your social media hashtags, and it's created a picture. Yep, so content creation for max output with minimum effort. What you'll see is it's one of our dot points here. And so you can either use this image or you can jump in here and pick a different picture that you may or may not like. What you may like if you don't like that one. Again, update that post and release it on schedule, and it's created a third one for you. Again, this one's used content. So what it's done is it's used one of your dot points. So don't waste the opportunity to repurpose your content. It's used the info about that, popped in your information here, created a picture for you that aligns with your brand. And again, if you're happy with it, you can choose it. If you're not happy with it, you can go, oh, you know what, I want this one here. So that picture there, content creation, max output with minimum effort. We've got information here. So we update that. And essentially what this means is that, oops, sorry, wrong button. What this means is that now there is an email and 3 social media posts that are scheduled to go out once a week onto your Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And we managed to do this within 25 minutes with all of this created and scheduled, right? Then if you would like to add more, you can go to create manual post. And so you can do one of 2 things here. You can either use the information that's been emailed to you, and you can pick one of the pictures that is here, and you can add the content in here yourself. Or if you've got, I don't know, you might have a webinar, or you've got a product launch, or you've got some form of campaign, you can actually just upload your own image. So there's nothing stopping you from jumping on in here and uploading your own picture. Let's see if I can find one that's kind of something cool. So let's just say, I don't know, I've got like a lead magnet where I would like people to download my free webinar promotion checklist. I can put this image in here. I can put the link to my lead magnet, whatever that might look like. And then I can schedule it to go out on whenever I would like it to go out. So it gives you both the opportunity to leverage this as a social media scheduling tool, but first and foremost, it's really around repurposing your content and having a program or a platform that will do the creative images for you, that will rewrite the copy that you have spent all that time writing. It will then schedule it for you based on current best practices as to what times to schedule it across which platform. So these are all the things that you no longer have to think about. Right. And not only that, it'll then send you an email which will then empower you to reuse this content ongoing. And so as you can see, Flintt has really been developed and designed to, as much as possible, save people time while still creating the opportunity for people to be visible. And just so you can see what this looks like on the flip side of it, if we go to our Flintt Instagram page, we'll be able to see how this has been all posted using, Flintt to repurpose the content that we've been creating and the content that we've been writing. And so there's different types of templates. There's different ways to be able to choose your colors, update your fonts, etc. So there's a bit of playing around that can be done in order to best reflect who you are and what you do. And you can also upload your own images so that to an image library once you register with Flintt. And then instead of having images that aren't yours, the stock images, you can have your images popped into the background behind your pictures. So that's essentially where we are going to finish up with today's demo. Does anybody have any questions? Yes, Wasim.
I have a couple of questions, if I may,
Yep.
please.
Yeah, go for it.
Number one, so essentially, from what I've understood, Flintt just takes the content that you've created and repurposes it. Doesn't actually help you create content.
Yeah, that's right. It repurposes the content that you
Okay.
have. Yeah.
So you still need to create your own content, but then it just does it in multiple formats for you
Yeah.
to post.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand. Have you spoken to Suzette from Rework?
I have.
Is there any, because I think she does like hers writes content, right?
Yeah. So, but hers does the similar thing to what Writer does or what Jasper does. That's not their core business. Their core business is actually taking really long, like white papers and then or podcasts and reducing them to bite-size content. There's definitely an alignment, but I haven't as yet worked out how we can make a viable business to work together.
Yeah, fair enough.
We've got a target market.
Yeah, my next question is, obviously with a business like ours, we have up to 4 people plus the business accounts that post. So it's like my personal, Michael, Irene's, Matt, we're the 4 coaches in the business. Then we've got the business, and sometimes, you know what I mean? So will Flintt allow us to do that with one account, or would we need to create an account for each single person?
At the moment, you would need to create an account for each person, but we do have our sort of enterprise model or our agency style model where you can have multi-user sign-ons, logins, and then you've got multiple access to the campaigns.
Okay.
That's
So
our next few milestones.
I guess that's coming down the road.
It is coming, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
Awesome,
definitely in our plan. We wanted to make sure that this functions at a base level before we sort of build to the next product stage. But yes, Wasim, that's definitely in the pipeline, as is agencies. No, I think these are really good questions.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's fair enough. I mean, I think your platform looks really, really interesting, especially for solopreneurs at the moment, or people just one person. So my next question is, what is the cost involved?
So it's $19 a month. And for $19 a month, you can roll out a campaign per month, and a campaign will include your repurposed email and then 2 other emails that you can send out yourself, and it'll include 5 posts across 3 platforms. So basically you've got a post a month going out to Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn.
So it's not unlimited?
But no, it's not unlimited.
Are you planning on doing it unlimited? Because we post content daily, 7 days a week.
Yes, I know, yes. So we are planning to do it unlimited. We've got that option currently for us. So we use Flintt and post more regularly. We're just trying to understand for an unlimited, what does that look like for the company, and how do we facilitate that from a recurring revenue a price point. And
Look, awesome. I think you've got a great platform. I mean, obviously, for what our needs is probably something when you have some of those other milestones, we can talk about that, because I think right now it serves completed the purpose that we want. But I think it's a great platform. Thank you for sharing it.
Thanks, Wasim. Anybody else have questions?
I guess I'd be loading up my own images, since that's part of sort of what we do with the art. So I'd probably need to know dimensions for images so that I knew what to upload.
Yep. That is I've asked that same question of our tech team. What I think would work the best for somebody to upload their own images is utilizing that same. So let me just log into our test account. I'll just log into our Flintt account just so I can show you. No, I don't want to do that. Thanks. So when you go into your media library, basically what happens is you can upload your images and you tag them based on what type of content you'd like to put it into. So whether it's your title one, your list one, or your content posts, because that'll align differently. And then what I think what works the best and what we found works the best is if we use, I need this simple, give me a simple. Yeah, so if we're using the simple template, what ends up happening then is you can pop your own image in. It generally can be a square image that can go behind, and it will still give you your social media here. So you just need an image that goes in there.
Yeah.
Right, because this is a stock image. So you need an image to go in there. Ideally, it needs to be landscape and a square, just kind of that size, really, which I can actually, I'm sure we can provide you the size of that. But as long as you've got, if it's just an image, it will pop it in the back there. So then you still have your branding in there, but you've got your own images in the back here. And that way it's populating and repurposing for ease of use. Yeah.
Yep. And I guess, hey, you'd play around with it and then you'd start seeing what.
Yeah,
kind of
that's
things are
right.
working.
Yeah, that's right. You do have to play around with it back and forth, but we've made it quite simple. There's a few options here as to how you can play around with it. So you've got, generally when you've got the full access, you've got the branding is just here, so you can always update any of the colors, etc., that you might need to update, and just click update the branding. You can head into your campaigns, and when you're inside the campaign, you can just hop in here and you can go change your templates. If you do want to use any form of keywords for stock images, if you do want to, you might want to use a stock image for some of a promotion or something. You can just pop the keyword in here and then regenerate it, and it will actually look for those pictures. And the way that Flintt works is whatever is here is what's going to go out. So if whatever's image is there is what's going to go out. So you can like set that one to go, and then you might want to, I don't know, edit this one. So you can go in here and you can choose a different picture. Let's just say you wanted a different picture. So you might choose a different image and then update that. And until such time that you click update, it's not going to actually change anything. So you can see how it's regenerated. You can have a look at what the options are and what it looks like, but you're not going to ruin the things that you've already set up, because whatever is here and has already been chosen is what's going to be going out onto your platforms.
Okay. How do you see, what do you click on to see what the post will look like? There?
So
Are you clicking on edit or?
yes. So you click on edit.
Yeah.
And then you scroll down. So that's what that post will look like. And you've got all your generated images, and you can click on that one, and that's what that one will look like. But until you click update, it actually won't change that. And you can always add your own image here. So if you've already got pictures, you can go, well, you know what, I really like the fact that it's repurposing my content and it's scheduling it for me, but I want to use my own pictures and I don't want it to have my branding down the bottom for whatever reason. There's nothing stopping you from just going, I'm going to choose a picture and I'm going to upload that picture, just QR code in this instance, and then use that, which is actually what I think has been done for one of these images. Pilar's been working on this. Thank you, Pilar. So this picture here, that's actually us uploading that picture. That wasn't uploaded by Flintt. So that one is there, and you've got, you know, a little bit of a content on there. So you can use it to still empower you to repurpose your copy as text, but put your own pictures in to align with what it is that it is there.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
Also as well, Anna has on Fridays, Anna has started to do workshops, like Q&A workshops for like is it an hour, Anna, or half an hour?
Yeah. We call it how to, so hands-on workshop, and we run them on Fridays from 1 till 2, sort of as a bit of a lunch and learn. So you can jump on and ask any questions around, you know, how Flintt's working, what you can do, what you can't do, if you troubleshooting, anything like that. And we had a really productive session with Ross, one of our new users, on Friday, and we really just nutted out all of this for him. He was the only one there, which worked out really well because we just had a direct one-on-one where I was able to really share with him. But the way that you reach that is we've got a Facebook community group, which Paul's popped into the chat there. So if you click on that and ask to join the group, we'll be running our hands-on workshops in there regularly.
Yeah, and there'll be other questions too from other users that you might not think of that they've said and they've helped, and you know, so it's pretty good.
Yeah. Cool.
Good. Okay.
Thanks so much, Jean. I know we've been talking about this for a while, so I'm really happy you're here and you get to see how it works.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
I've been
Fabulous.
busy building contacts and building business, and I just thought, oh, I'll pop in.
Yeah, it's great. It's absolutely fabulous.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hope to see you in one of our hands-on workshops. If you have any questions or anything, let us know. We've got a 14-day free trial at the moment. So what you've done right now, you can continue to play around with it as it is. If you would like to actually post, then you'll need to enter your credit card details, and you've got a 14-day free trial, see how it works on your socials, integrate your socials, update your contacts, and then move forward from there. But really start to build that visibility and consistency.
Okay, and the contacts are email addresses of customers. Is that what? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So within the contacts form, you basically will head over to contacts, and then you've got the opportunity to import contacts, which means it'll give you, you can download a sample document here, and then that's basically first name, last name, email, tag if you want to tag them, and then you'll be able to look at them, and you can look at your contacts list, or you can create contacts manually. If you want to just put in, yourself in there first, you can enter your details in there first, and then you can create multiple different tags and test your tags. So you might want, to have one that goes out to your whole database that's around this value, like the one that you've written, and then you might have a special campaign that's, only to specific customers rather than your whole database, and you can tag them that way as well.
People who came to a particular workshop or their particular country. That's
right. Yeah. So that also gives you the opportunity for that. Great.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much, Jean. And I'm sure we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jean.
Bye.
That's good.